என்னை பொறுத்த வரைக்கும் ஒரே நிலா, ஒரே சூரியன், ஒரே சூப்பர் ஸ்டார். நேற்று, இன்று, என்னைக்குமே.
This is the life expectancy in India. Meaning, if you are born here 68 years ago, chances are you're probably already dead, or if you're lucky, you're chilling somewhere in your retired life. But not him. Rajinikanth has been a part of the state's culture for a half century, and yet why does it feel like there's still no end to the superstar? I mean, just look at the theatre response when Shivaji first released. And years later in 2022, when the movie was re-released, you'd think things must have changed, fans must have grown old, but no. If anything, the madness only seems to have gotten crazier. Companies announced movie holidays for Vetan's release, but still this doesn't even come close to what was happening in the 90s. So what does it take for a 74-year-old man to be still at the very top, to still be called the superstar? Indian cinema has always been different, especially when it comes to our heroes. They are not just characters, they are larger than life. A man fights for justice, for love, for revenge, or sometimes just for style. Add a song in the background and the moment becomes more iconic. Music has always been tied to our films, and to really understand how that changed cinema, you need to understand the theatres. In the West, in 50s, 60s, rock music was starting to become popular, where fans screamed in concerts. At the same time, in India, the same kind of energy exploded inside movie theatres. We didn't have rock stars or pop stars on stage. We had playback singers. A well-placed song in a story wasn't just music, it was a celebration. Every time the hero entered, succeeded in doing something, or danced to an upbeat song, theatres transformed into mini stadiums, mini concerts, whistles, confetti, screaming, jumping. While in the West, fans screamed for musicians, in India, they screamed for actors, and no one triggered that kind of hysteria more than Rajinikanth. In any other film industry, if you want a hero to do superhuman things, you have to create a whole genre like sci-fi, fantasy, superhero, or even if it is just like a James Bond or John Wick, who are technically regular, normal human beings. They have gone through rigorous training. They have a backstory. And then there's South Indian cinema, where you just have to be the hero of the movie to do impossible things, where the hero is the show. Flying bodies, shattered bones.
24. When Manny finally unlocks an indestructible, impenetrable box he's had since birth, he discovers a special watch inside that allows whoever wears it to manipulate time. And how did Manny learn to Jackie Chan? That's right. That's a good point. Dude was just kicking everybody's asses at one point, and it's like, does the watch make you like a kung fu master also?
These scenes were inspired by something much older.
आज मैंने विष्णु का अवतार लिया.
The Ramayana, the Mahabharata, where gods in human forms were doing impossible things. So Indian cinema took that template and made it mass. And the one who became the ultimate symbol of that madness was none other than Rajinikanth. Look, he was not the first one to do this. He was not the first one to create all this craze. He was the one who mainstreamed it. But like, he's the go-to example for a mass action hero. If you look up the word mass, which means to do something badass or to do something cool in Indian cinema, it's almost synonymous with Rajinikanth. He was not the first one to do it, but he defined the term. He made it so mainstream. But this still doesn't explain why he is still at the very top. Why is his stardom still untouched? Take Tom Cruise, possibly the biggest movie star in the world, way more famous than Rajini. But he doesn't have this cult fan base. Let me explain. He is known everywhere, all over the world, specifically in the country of United States, in this very, very big country. But he doesn't have a special fan base from a city or from a state, kinda like an athlete where he belongs to one country and he has a hardcore fan base. But Rajini does belong to one region, Tamil Nadu, united by Tamil. But there have been other actors who have also had this kind of craze in the 80s, 90s, but now they are not very relevant and nowhere close to Rajini's stardom. You can maybe credit it to directors who give him blockbusters. I mean, he has given a list of flops, his career could be dead, but every now and then he comes and gives an industry blockbuster, which revives the culture of Rajinism. If you're born here, chances are your grandparents went to Rajini films with their parents, then took your parents, and your parents took you. And if you're married and have kids, you're taking them too. That's 5 generations who have seen the same face on screen hundreds of times in theaters and millions of times on TV. And what does that create? It creates a cult, almost like a religion, like it's part of the culture. So no, it wouldn't be an exaggeration to say this. Rajinikanth is a once-in-a-lifetime phenomenon, not just in the history of cinema, but in the entire history of entertainment.
My name is Bella. வாழ்க்கையெல்லாம் பாஷா 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 பாஷா.
हुकुम टाइगर का हुकुम.